Welcome to On the Spectrum. I'm your host, Terri Matthews, and today I have a very special guest, no other than the Ryan Hammond, who is here to talk to us about the Eagles, not who they're going to be drafting, but the fact that she's the executive director for the Eagles Autism Challenge, and we're going to talk about how you can get involved and how you can learn more about what the Eagles do to support autism. Ryan, I am so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here, Terri.
We have been chatting about behind the scenes, chatting and chanting about the Eagles. And you brought something very special that I just want to keep and show to our audience so bad I can't even wait. So if you can just show them this amazing Super Bowl ring that you're wearing.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. This ring?
Yeah. Oh, this ring, you guys. You see how heavy this thing is? It's like loaded with diamonds and emeralds. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. And this is your ring, right?
This is my ring.
That's so awesome. So tell me, because we're going to get into what the Autism Challenge is, but first tell us a little bit about the Eagles and what it's like working with the organization.
So this is actually my second stint working with the Philadelphia Eagles. I was there out of college in marketing, had two children close together and was expecting my third, went into nonprofit, which is actually where I found autism and my passion. And spent a decade there, and then when the Eagles launched the Eagles Autism Challenge, I came back. So it's been amazing to be back home. I never would have thought autism would have brought me there, but it's just an incredible organization from, top down. I have the opportunity to work for our owner, chairman and CEO, Jeffrey Lurie, and he is a true visionary. He's committed to our organization, to our players, to our coaches on the field, and more importantly, our community. And that's really what I'm excited to talk about today.
So what's so amazing to me is that I have watched over the years here in the Philadelphia area how involved Jeffrey, the Eagles organization in general, is with the autism community. What made the Eagles come up with this Autism Challenge, and exactly what is the challenge?
So the Eagles Autism Challenge was really founded by Jeffrey. He has a personal connection to autism, and a lot of people don't know that, but he has championed autism with his family for years, as long as he can remember, if you ask him. And he really felt that he wanted the Eagles to focus on autism, but he wanted it to be the right time. He never wanted to feel like it was because of his personal connection. That's why he was now having the entire team focus on this initiative. So I think, he, again, was a quiet leader for a long time in the field. And then with the increased prevalence, I think he recognized that it was a time to use our platform, being the Eagles, being a part of the NFL, to be a voice for others. And that's exactly what he did. And, when you think about the challenge and how it was developed, obviously it's a fundraiser first and foremost. But we were very intentional with the word challenge. It's a challenge to raise money. It's a challenge to bring people together. It's a physical challenge that day, and also it's a challenge to have people think differently.
I love that idea. A challenge to bring people together, a challenge to make people think differently. What do you say has been the impact of the challenge, and how difficult has it been to bring people together?
So the challenge started out, I will say, we couldn't do it without partners. So it was right out of the gate, Lincoln Financial Group joined us as the presenting sponsor of the event. And the idea was, how do we create an event, unlike anything that's ever happened in Philadelphia, that is not transactional? You don't register, show up, get your t-shirt, and then it's, cycled in your gym clothes.
I know.
But, how do we help people develop a philanthropic priority? So we have this amazing bike race. It's sponsored by Wawa, the Wawa Junior Shorty and Classic, so the 15, 30, and 50-mile bike rides.
50 miles?
50 miles.
Oh my goodness. Wait, 50 miles?
50 miles.
In one day?
In one day. So you start at Lincoln Financial Field. You actually ride all the way up to kind of Plymouth Meeting and head on back.
Do you get a break?
Well, we have rest stops along the way.
You get a shorty?
Yeah, absolutely, right? That's your reward. And then we have Five Below as a sponsor for our 5K. So again, everything starts and ends at the stadium. Last year we had over 3,300 participants raising $2.5 million.
Are you serious? Now, where does that money go?
So every dollar that we raise is donated to autism research in Philadelphia.
Wow, every dollar.
And I have just, some incredible information as far as, how my life has changed with getting involved with this initiative. And just like this event is not a transaction. Again, it's not sign up and participate, it's sign up, join us as a leader, use your network, fundraise, and be a part of this amazing day. We take that very seriously, and we need to be good stewards of people's philanthropy. And really, again, it came from Jeffrey with not just presenting that check that you see at so many of these events. So I actually hired a scientific advisor.
You did?
I did. So that was a whole new world. I worked with him to develop a proposal process because our first year we declared founding beneficiaries. So Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, Jefferson University Health, and also Drexel University. All really amazing leaders in our city committed to autism. Yes, and we felt that we wanted to elevate their profile, which would ultimately impact Philadelphia from a global standpoint.
Absolutely. They do a lot of amazing research there. Drexel has been partners of ours too for some time. That the research that they provide is so beneficial and helpful, especially when you're trying to create things for people that are on the spectrum.
Absolutely. Yeah. And our goal was to fund cutting edge, measurable outcomes with transformational impact in the field. So with our scientific advisor, we developed a whole process for them to actually submit in proposals for funding. We got the proposals, and then we actually looked at who were the best researchers in the field across the country and even as far as Canada.
Really?
Yes. On January 17th, we flew in all of these researchers. I said it was the first time I didn't feel like, I was like, wow, I do not hold a candle to these people as far as being the smartest person in the room. And I'm usually, I'm pretty confident in that area. But these were just amazing, brilliant researchers from Harvard, Brown, UCLA, UNC, University of Alberta in Canada, Vanderbilt. And they actually went through every single proposal and made sure that it really captured that cutting edge, measurable outcome, transformational impact effect. And from there, we made our funding decisions with how we were going to award and support projects, because this is just the beginning. I mean, we had year one. It was a complete success from a participant standpoint, from a fundraising standpoint, and we want to make sure that we develop an ecosystem, for the future of research that's really going to change the lives of others today and tomorrow.
And that's extremely important. I think a lot of times when we hear about research, for the everyday parent who might be dealing with that kid on the spectrum, sometimes they don't really understand right away, what research means, because they're just trying to get their kiddo up and get them on schedule and get them out the door and probably get to work or deal with all of the IEP meetings and challenges that they have. But research is important because in order for us to make forward change, right? In order for us to create systems that support individuals on the spectrum, we need that research behind us so we can get the outcomes that we want.
Absolutely. It's all about evidence-based practices, and you can't do that without research. And certainly you have that science background where people are looking at genetics and everything, but you then also have that clinical piece that's helping develop that best practice that's going to teach your child with their interventions and make such significant progress.
So what do you think that spearheading this Eagles Autism Challenge has done for you? I heard you say you've worked in nonprofit. I'm assuming, this is an assumption, that you don't have anybody in your family with autism. So have you learned more through this process?
I don't have anyone in my family with autism, but I will say, when I went into nonprofit and I went into autism, it became personal to me because I worked so closely with a family who was founding the Kinney Center for Autism Education and Support at St. Joe's University. Wow. They were making a $7 million gift in the form of an endowment for the university to start this training program for undergraduates while supporting and serving families at very accessible cost for them. And, to have a family work with you and see you as a vehicle to really accomplish their vision is a huge responsibility.
Absolutely.
And they have a son on the spectrum, and he is, I'm so close to him, and my whole family is now a part of their family, and we do so many things together. Even this summer, he rode up with me from the beach to go to the Eagles training camp practice because he wants to spend time with us. So he just plays such a big role in my life. And then to come to the Eagles and to work with Jeffrey, who, again, it's so personal. I just really feel like I'm in the role of facilitating someone else's vision and helping them accomplish not only what's going to benefit them and their families, but so many other families that are touched by autism that I've grown to love over the years.
Well, I will say to you, it's extremely important to have people like you, because spearheading these types of visions and then also having a level of empathy and understanding for families is extremely important. And I think to bring this vision to life, because I know having a team behind you is what makes things go, and so having someone be able to execute the vision is extremely important. What I love about the Eagles is that, to me, they are a philanthropic team, and I'm hoping that this spreads throughout NFL. I mean, each team I know kind of has the things that they go after, and I know, again, Jeff Laurie is one this is a personal connection for him, but I hope that other teams use their platform, because autism, even with the players, it's so prevalent in their lives. What I would say in reference to the Eagles Challenge, what do you want to see that's different this year for the challenge? Like, what's the big vision, the big dream for it?
Well, before I get to that, I just wanted to share, because you touched on a great point. We are all on the same team when it comes to autism. And that really is, call to action from Jeffrey. Our goal is people are aware of autism. It's so prevalent and so many people are affected, but our goal is to create action. And what we did even last year is we had Ziggy Hood come up from the Redskins, who was a great parent advocate, and he participated with that day. He also, we had Deshaun Hamilton, who was drafted by the Denver Broncos.
Yes, he was.
He couldn't be there because he was actually in rookie camp that weekend, but sent positive messages, and through both the Broncos social media and our social media, that we were able to, again, share that we're all on the same team. So that was just really incredible to be able to create a community, not just of our participants and our families who came together that day, but to see our organization respond, but then also to touch other areas of the NFL and hopefully, again, other sports teams as well. I've been a part of a lot of experiences where it starts with a parent or a family member, and you see it just, people gravitate to that. And that's where I feel like this is as well.
What about your fans? Like, what are the fans saying about the challenge? Are they getting involved?
Oh, absolutely. So that kind of goes back to when we were talking about the Super Bowl. Just to launch the challenge last September, not knowing that we would achieve, the greatest goal that we've had, which is, being world champions. We actually, really were able to put wind in our sails. We were able to be in a position where people wanted to create a meaningful engagement opportunity with our organization in any way. They were hungry for it because, we had the parade, and it was just, you didn't go down a street without someone repping their Eagles gear, which I love yours today.
I have my Eagles gear on.
So, I think that's why, because I struggled, coming in, I'm like, okay, how do I create excitement for an event that's never happened? How do I get people to buy into a culture change of philanthropy, where if you want to run the 5K, you have to raise X number of dollars. If you want to ride 50 miles, you have to raise $1,000. So I think the Super Bowl certainly helped us from a year one perspective and really carried through, because that value proposition that we offer is that true engagement with our team. So in May, we have about 90 guys on our team. We just have the draft, we're picking people up in free agency, and we had probably 85 of our players there. And those people riding in the 50 mile, out comes out of a van Carson Wentz, selfies, high fives every single person. Nick Foles is with them. And then you have, the players that are participating. Jason Kelsey recently got married to a woman who is an autistic support classroom teacher, and it was very important for her. So they started Team 62. So he's signed up, raised his money. He's running the 5K long fan. So that's the other thing, to have people so supportive. Coach Peterson was awesome. He actually signed up. He rode the 15 mile.
Did he make it?
He made it. He made it. Deuce was one of our team captains. He was a huge champion, but he also gave us the avenue to talk to the players about this and how important it was. I got to go to their team meeting in the morning and talk to them about the event. The hands went up. They're like, so do you want us to fundraise? And my response was, we're all in this together. So they started fundraising, and it was just, again, so when you participate in the event, not only were you riding next to Coach or Alshon or, running next to Rodney, you actually, crossed the 50-yard line, finish line in the stadium. You were greeted with your medal for participation, and all of our players were there to thank you for joining our community as a leader that day. So it was pretty awesome.
I think that moving forward, I think that everybody should understand that this challenge is for everyone, even though we're saying Eagles and we're raising money. But I want to make it clear, like you said, this is for research, and research is across the United States. Research is global, right? And so whatever happens with this money that funds these research, because oftentimes I find a lot of philanthropists, some are real big with donating towards research, and other people are still like, but this isn't helping my child today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They see a 5-year, lapse into what the impact's going to be.
And they need to understand that this is a big impact. And even though it might be the Eagles challenge, if somebody's in California that likes the Eagles, they can join. If someone's in Dallas and likes the Eagles, they can join, correct?
Absolutely. So you could be a virtual participant. So if you're not up to it physically, or you're physically not there, you can actually do something on your own, still be a part of our community, and raise money. And then some of those changes that you mentioned for this year, we actually included a sensory walk, because again, just knowing that we're starting,
that's so cool.
If our goal is inclusion and neurodiversity to really be a catalyst from this event, the 5K could be tough if there's no cut throughs to make it shorter and your child's having an issue. And you run in, and we want to again create that excitement and the drum lines playing. But that might not be great for, a family with their child with autism. So we created a new addition, which is the sensory walk. So you can participate with your family. Kids 12 and under can participate without a fundraising goal. And 3 and under as well, and strollers are welcome.
So you have to tell everybody, where can they get this information so that they can participate?
Absolutely. So they can visit our website at eaglesautismchallenge.org.
eaglesautismchallenge.org.
And the event also includes a Friday night kickoff with a full dinner, open bar. A lot of our sponsor activations will be there. Players, alumni, remarks from Jeffrey Lurie, learning a little bit about our impact from a research standpoint last year, and then a post-race celebration that happens. You know, you cross that 50-yard line, you're on the big screen, and you go grab a drink and enjoy the entertainment and just celebrate as a community for what we were able to accomplish together.
I'm still stuck on the fact, Ryan, that you said that somebody rides 50 miles in one day.
So our president, Don Smolensky, I mean, he is the real deal. He gets out there. I was like, Don, we should put a GoPro on you. And he's like, why? Everyone's going to be behind me. Like, he's like legit 50-mile rider. And he's got his Eagles wings. I didn't. I had signed up to participate, and I kind of wanted to feel it out to see what I would be able to do based on my schedule. But it's a little bit of a crazy day for me with a lot of moving parts. So
I could only
I end
imagine.
up, being that virtual participant. But my family's there. My 3 daughters, they've been really involved with autism since I kind of got involved. When you understand being a working mom, you want to share things with your kids so they know when you're not around what you're doing and why it's important. So my daughters have been peer mentors for kids with autism for probably 8 years now.
See, that's amazing. And I think that that's what our audience out there needs to know, that even though you may not be directly impacted by autism, just involving your kids and communicating, because it helps them grow up to be responsible socially and be able to communicate with other people and reflect kindness, grace, being gentle, patience in the world. Those are things that are important that we must not forget about.
Absolutely. And they learn to talk about trains with someone for the 10th time because they know it's important to them. Or, they see a kid on the floor in the mall and they might get down on the floor with them to try and help a mom, and the empathy that they show. And sometimes the thanks that the other parent is showing, I'm like, no, this is the right thing to do. I'm like, I'm not rewarding. Like, I think it's wonderful, but that doesn't need reward. It's because that's who we need to evolve as humans, because we live in an inclusive world. Yes. And, even the steps that we take at the stadium, that was one thing that really drew me to this role. Is it was so much more than just a day and raising money. It really helped us create authenticity in our brand. So, I wanted to get to a point where people didn't have to say, why autism for the Eagles? And, so now every game that you go to, you can go to one of our our guest services booths and get a sensory bag for your child. Noise canceling headphones, fidget toys. We've converted areas for sensory break rooms during games that you can take advantage of, or any event at the stadium. We made our public practice for the first time ever inclusive by, you have general admission seating, and you're in a situation where families are coming already trying to prepare their child for autism and to think they have to go and find a seat somewhere.
Which is a challenge.
So we designated suites for them to be able to go and accommodate, their needs, to take breaks with a private restroom, have sensory bags there. And, I had families that were like, well, we got here. And the fact that they were able to kind of stay for the whole day, finish practice, it just became a whole new experience.
I think the Eagles are going to end up with a whole lot more fans just with understanding that. I mean, especially for our moms and dads out there who enjoy sports activities. This is a place where you can take your children, and I have had the opportunity to experience it, and I absolutely love it. It is a great opportunity for families to remain and stick together, because sometimes you kind of have to divide up. Oh, we can't bring this child to the game because this child's autistic. And in this case, there are supports that are offered there, and this is an amazing thing that I think that most people should know, and I would like to see that reflected across the United States. And I believe we're going to get there.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that's, you talk about the trickle-down effect of having an event and having a commitment, and to say, we've been able to create a positive connection to autism. I had a family that actually registered for the Eagles Autism Challenge from the Netherlands. And I actually thought it was a mistake. I was just looking at the data, and I'm like, where's our furthest participant from? And I saw the Netherlands, so I reached out via email. And I'm like, are you a virtual participant? Did you accidentally register as, a 5K participant? And the father wrote me back, and he said, no, I have an 8-year-old son with autism, and it's been really challenging here for him. And I felt that if I had to cross the ocean to show my son a positive connection around autism, I was going to do it.
High five.
Right?
That is so awesome.
And that is what makes it worth it.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing so much information. I think people need to know that people are out here raising the money for research, but there are folks that care and they're showing it not only just in words, but in an action. So in my mind, the Eagles are a philanthropic team, and they're setting and paving the way in my mind. Even the stereotypes that sometimes come with athletes and those things that are around the NFL or NBA. So I'm so excited, and I'm so excited to see so many more people participate. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. And don't forget to check out our website, eaglesautismchallenge.org.
Okay, well, we can't leave the show without the Eagles chant. So,
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
okay. Fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Score a touchdown,
Down, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch those Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Okay, I'm glad we got that. Thank you for watching the show today. For more information on how you can join the Eagles Challenge, please log on to www.onthespectrum.tv. You can subscribe there, download our resources, or leave a comment. See you next time on The Spectrum.